Well, well, well. Much ado about nothing this week. Got some serious injury update news as it pertains to one Trevon Diggs. And I said this yesterday after getting a lot more clarity on what Brian Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones were both saying. And I noticed, and I said it yesterday, it sounds like they were giving themselves an out in case Trevon Diggs didn't play. Well, you're definitely going to want to hear this injury news along with these other things that we're going to talk about as it pertains to the Cowboys as we get ready to go up against the Detroit Lions tomorrow in the biggest game of the season. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Yup. Y'all know the show never ends. It is time to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Big week. Brandy, I just hinted at this, Brandy. I'm going to make sure I'm going to come back to your comment as we get this thing going. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Brandy, I didn't want to say this, but yesterday I noticed, Brandy, I said it. Brian Schottenheimer gave himself an out on Trevon Diggs. And I also asked another question yesterday, if y'all remember. Who's making the decision on whether or not Diggs looks good enough to come back? I don't know the answer to the second question, but I noticed that they were talking while Jerry seemed like, when he first mentioned it, Jerry was very optimistic about it. But I noticed that when Brian Schottenheimer was asked about it, he really didn't seem so optimistic. And I'm not saying that he didn't want Diggs to play. But what I am saying was he wasn't getting too hyped up on the notion of Diggs playing. Because obviously, I guess it depended upon some things. So we're going to get a little bit more into that. So this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about Diggs, but there is another person on that injury report that is a huge deal. I'm sorry, Trevon Diggs is not a big deal being on that injury report. He's been on it for the last 6 games. Cowboys are 4-2 without him. He's not the major person on that list. We're going to talk about the major person on that Cowboys injury update that we need to be concerned about. Number 2. We're going to talk about Shotty on 105.3 The Fan. Shotty's on 105.3 The Fan today. Got a short interview. Want to listen to that and see if he even talks about this thing with Trevon Diggs. But again, I always say you heard Shotty once, you heard him a million times. But nevertheless, he's always good when he gives interviews. And then we're going to go right back to 105.3 The Fan. I always find this to be interesting. I always love to hear what the other media is saying about their team. It's one thing to hear us talk about the Detroit Lions, but I like to hear them talk about the Detroit Lions. So today, we are going to be listening to Mark Ryan from 97.1 The Ticket talking about the Detroit Lions. So that's the show. Diggs and the injuries, Shotty 105.3 The Fan, and the Detroit media talking about the Detroit Lions. Yeah, we got about an hour and some change. It's Wednesday. Y'all know what I do. So let's go. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, so Dominique, you did get your top. So you did get the top. Okay, I want to make sure, Dominique Pittman, you did get your jacket. Okay, great. So it's Poobie D the one I made the mistake on. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Big Moss Dog is up in this thing. Dominique Pittman. Big Moss Dog is up in this thing. He said, how about them Cowboys? He said, I missed yesterday's live. They got a brother on call for snow removal. Yes, sir. Glad to see you back. It is the Queen. What's going on, Queen? Good to see you. Lord Nova. Brandy up in this thing. What's going on? John Jones said, what up, G Money? I tell you every single time, and I love telling you, it's a New Jack City. Let's go. Kippy! Kippy! My man, what is going on? Let's go, Kip. Yay, More's in this thing. It's that sax guy. Good to see you. What's going on? Brian Worley, what is going on with you? Good to see you on the show today. Bob's Clover said he's back. What's going on, Bob's Clover? Bass is up in the house. He said, what's up? I said, what's up? We said, what's up? What's going on? Tony Nichols is in this thing. Catlin, William Dansby, what is going on? Javier Rivera, what's going on? I appreciate you. The show don't stop. Missing Link, what's going on? I remember a wrestler back in the day with the name of Missing Link, and he was crazy with it. What's going on? Roy Woodard, let's go. Man, I gotta get this thing going. Michi, yo, Michi. Man, I was talking about you today at lunch with one of my brothers, man. I'm telling you, Michi, yo, I'm gonna have to do a follow-up on this video with Dak Prescott talking about they see the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Because if they beat the Rams, I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind. I'm going to be unsufferable, I'm telling you. And I believe they're going to do it. Georgie George, what's going on? He said DC4L for life. Tired Cowboy fan. You might not be so tired after this season, my brother. Good to see you up in here again. What's going on? Anthony, what's going on? Anthony Thorns, Anthony Toms, what's going on? Davion Wallace, my man, what's going on? All right, I can't get everybody in. I got to get out of here today. So we got to get this hour in real quick. Shakira, what's going on? Good to see you up in here. Mr. Get Dirty, what's going on? Boy, that sounds like a football player name right there. Marquieto Chavez, what's going on? It is the Juice, man. What's going on? Chris Dunaway, Lock and D, what's going on with you, my brother? Good to see you up in here. Mr. 72 Chevelle, he said he's speeding in. What's going on? Good to see you. Messiah 1352 up in here. What's going on? Angel Days, what's going on? D. Kizzle, what up? Good to see you again, D. Kizzle. Joseph Mitchell is up in this thing. Blessings from Grenada. Yes, sir. Blessings to you. David Archie, he said they have to take care of the ball. For show. Go Cowboys. Mizzle Moonglade, tell me Clowney's okay. That's who we're going to talk about. Raymond Estrada, what's going on? Good to see y'all today. It is a wonderful day to be a Cowboys fan. It is a wonderful day. Lynn from the 903. What up, Lynn? It's a great day to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's a great day to be. Boy, you Bauer. Hey, David, you better stop playing, man. I already got people mad at me, man. I already got people mad at me. You don't need people mad at you, David. David said I want Diggs on the list. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Boy, there are some people that are sensitive about this dude, man. Boy, they are sensitive about Trevon Diggs. Superman, what's going on, man? Thursday night gonna be lit. It is going to be lit. Yeah, Lynn. Hey, Lions got a lot of injuries. And I'm telling you, Laporta and now Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's a big one, boy. That's a big one. All right, so let's kind of look at this injury report real quick. I saw this today, and I said I gotta show this on the live today. But this is the Cowboys injury report. Hold on a second. Let's see. My man here, Brian Worley, he said, "Gee, I've been watching it snow all day." He said, "Can't wait for these Dallas Cowboys to whip up on the Lions." Let's go, Brian Worley. Brian Worley, where are you at that it's snowing like that? Where in the world are you at? All right. So this is the Cowboys' latest injury report. This is the one from today. And Trevon Diggs has been ruled out. Trevon Diggs has been ruled out. Q-Town dude, what's going on? He said, I appreciate your early video on the account. It's church night. Yes, sir. You know I got to still get it in, my brother. I love the church, and I also love this Cowboys church. I love it. So I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Trevon Diggs has been ruled out by the Cowboys. Trevon Diggs has been ruled out. We already knew Tyler Guyton was going to be out. This thing with Trevon Diggs, I don't really know if it's big news, but I'm like Brandy. That's why I said in my opening soliloquy, I said that it was much ado about nothing because in the grand scheme of things, Trevon Diggs is not even playing. And there are people out there who were saying that they don't believe he's going to play again this season. I want to be honest with you. I was shocked when they first started saying that he was going to play. I was absolutely shocked because I don't know what his injury clause looks like in his contract, but you can pretty much anybody with half a brain, and I'm not trying to be insulting or condescending, but just being honest, looking at that contract and what the injuries Diggs has had, the Cowboys made that contract to be done with Diggs after that contract. Only way Diggs come back is that he's going to have to just submit to a super duper cheap contract, and I don't even think the Cowboys are going to offer it to him. But I do say the Cowboys do, if he can still play, I think the Cowboys want to get some return on the investment that they've had on Trevon Diggs. So Jerry was very gung-ho about this. But again, I noticed that Brian Schottenheimer, and this is why I say I wish Jerry, as much as I like Jerry, I wish Jerry would leave these types of things to the head coach. We don't need Jerry to tell us who's going to play and who's not going to play, even though, I mean, on the radio, they're basically coaching, asking him questions like he is one of the coaches on the team. So, they're feeding into this, but Jerry kind of talked it up, and then I noticed the second time he kind of talked about it, he sounded a little bit more different, like, he was enthusiastic the first time he said, barring no setback. But the second time he came back, he didn't quite sound the same. And again, Brian Schottenheimer, he didn't sound enthusiastic at all. And I don't think that's a knock on Diggs. I just think that he kind of knows what's going on with this injury. But nevertheless, Trevon Diggs is not playing. And I said this yesterday, and somebody, and I'm not going to take credit for this, I forget who it was in the chat, but somebody in the chat had mentioned that maybe you give Diggs another week off and don't let him come back against the Detroit Lions. I echoed that sentiment because this game between the Cowboys and the Detroit Lions, it's going to be very physical. This is going to be a very physical game. And I told y'all yesterday, if I'm the Detroit Lions, show me Trevon Diggs out there on the field. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm running right at him. I'm running at the edges on the Cowboys from the Detroit Lions because I don't think they can run up the middle. So I'm going to try to get me some sweeps. I'm going to try to get me some pitches. I'm going to get me some screens. But I'm going to try to get to the edges on the Cowboys, and then maybe I can cut back up the field and I can get on those cornerbacks. I said it yesterday. I was like, man, this is going to be a very physical game. This might not be the game to bring Diggs back. Maybe you give him an extra 10 days, and then you bring him back against an opponent like the Minnesota Vikings. You bring him back against an opponent like that. Not to mention, I said this also, and I'm not hating on Trevon Diggs, but I'm telling us, Trevon Diggs playing for the Cowboys, it's not a make or break move. We're already 4-2 without Trevon Diggs. This is not a make or break move for the Cowboys. Kalen Carson, double hamstrings, but he still played pretty good. Savon Revel Jr. has been off the porch good. DeRon Bland has played so much better since getting his socks burned off by Harrison Jr. They have looked a lot better in the secondary. Yeah, what's going on, Chevy? Yeah, Diggs is not playing. Diggs is not playing. And again, I'm telling you now, Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr., guys. Look at Savon Revel Jr. Check this stat out. This is insane. Savon Revel Jr., according to the Cowboys Network, rookie cornerback Savon Revel Jr. has allowed just 5 receptions for 61 yards across 89 coverage snaps in the first 3 games of his NFL career. I got news for us. Said this a few days ago. Y'all do realize we got an elite defensive tackle, and Savon Revel Jr. has all the makings of an elite level cornerback. I'm telling y'all, Savon Revel Jr. has all of the traits of an elite level first cornerback off the board defensive back. Savon Revel Jr. He getting warmed up. He getting warmed up. Man, this dude stays healthy. You watch what I tell you next year. Savon Revel Jr. next season is going to be one of the top defensive backs in this game. I mean, you can tell the way Shotty talks about him. When he talks about Savon Revel Jr., he lights up. He lights up when he talks about Savon Revel Jr. Because when you see him, you see nothing but just elite level tendencies. Savon Revel Jr. has afforded them some more time for Trevon Diggs to come back. And if Trevon Diggs comes back, and again, Cowboys win this game, I believe they're winning this game. The Cowboys are going to set the NFL on fire. They're the hottest team in the league right now, especially when you look at the opponents. I'm not even thinking about the New England Patriots with the competition they've been playing. But the Cowboys beat the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys are going to go the rest of the season, I believe, undefeated once they beat the Lions. If you can get Revel, DeRon Bland, and if Trevon Diggs is Trevon Diggs, that'd be quite a trio of defensive backs to take into a playoff run. If Diggs is Diggs, and that's still the question. But if Diggs is Diggs, whew, look out. Look out. Missing link. What wound up happening to Savon Revel Jr. is it was the brace. The brace malfunctioned. It wasn't anything wrong with the knee. Wasn't anything wrong with the knee. So Savon is great. He came back in the game and he played. But again, Diggs is not playing. I don't think it's a major issue because he hasn't been playing. So it's not a major issue. Diggs becomes a factor if he comes back as Diggs. If he comes back and he's Diggs, he's a major factor. He's a major factor, but we'll see what happens. Again, he's not playing. So the Cowboys are still going to be good at the cornerback position. So I'm all good. Another side note, I saw this today. I thought it was incredible. The Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs, the most watched regular season game in history. Congratulations, Cowboys. Says most watched regular season game in NFL history, up plus 47% versus last year, shattering previous record by 36%. Audiences peaked with 61 million viewers. NFL on CBS, best viewers since the NFL returned to CBS. Best viewership since the NFL returned to CBS in 1988, averaging 22.120 million viewers, up plus 9% from last year. Paramount had its most streamed NFL regular season game ever, had its best NFL season to date. That's the Dallas Cowboys effect. Michio! Hey, Michio. Hey, man. I talked about this also, Michio, at the beginning of the season. A lot of people were complaining about these primetime games the Cowboys are going to have towards the end of the season. And isn't it ironic that right around the time the Cowboys get all these primetime games that everybody thought was going to be poo-poo and every team was going to dominate the Cowboys in those primetime games, why give them those games only for the Cowboys to get George Pickens, get Kenny Clark, trade Michael Parsons, get 2 first-round draft picks, go and get Quentin Williams, go get Logan Wilson, bring back DeMario Overshawn, bring in Savon Revel Jr., and start getting healthy only for these primetime games for the Dallas Cowboys to be must-watch television. You can't make this up. Boy, you can't make this up. Man, I said it when I made that video about the Cowboys schedule. I said it seems like the NFL knows something. I'm just saying. Let me take my foil hat off now. I'm just telling you. Elbert, let me tell you something. I do think this is a place where he could actually capitalize. If they can keep everything in front of Diggs, if they can keep everything in front of him, makes whoever they play get some hurry up throws. Diggs still has ball skills. Diggs will go get them. He got ball skills. Now, we're not going to take that away from him. He's got ball skills. The problem with Diggs has been his legs. That's been Diggs' problems for the last 3 years. It's his legs. He still has ball skills. You don't forget ball skills. I mean, that's just something that you can't teach. He used to be a wide receiver. You don't forget how to catch. So, Diggs, when it comes to Diggs still got ball skills. His problem is his legs. And so, we'll see what happens when the Cowboys get him back. And I do think, as I said yesterday, I think the best thing for the Cowboys when they bring Diggs back, hey, it's very simple for me. He plays no 4-3 base. But he does play whenever you're going to blitz, whenever you're going to go man-to-man, you want Trevon Diggs in there because if you can force that quarterback to make an ill-advised throw, I still say Diggs got ball skills. We watched him jump one against the Green Bay Packers. I say he still has ball skills. What has betrayed him is his legs. All right. So let's look at the next major issue on this injury report because, again, no knock on Trevon Diggs. I'm not saying this in a derogatory manner, but the Cowboys are 4-2 without Diggs. That is not a make or break player, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown out, which I don't know if that meant we needed Diggs for that, but they only got Williams. The Cowboys can handle that. The thing the Cowboys are going to have to handle up on the Detroit Lions is their run game. They'll be able to handle up on Williams, I believe. Yes! Here we go! But the other person on this thing that we really need to be looking out for is Jadeveon Clowney. Now, that is a problem. You need Jadeveon Clowney in this game. The Cowboys need him. They need Jadeveon Clowney because Clowney is not just good in the pass rush game. He's good in the run game. Jadeveon Clowney's pursuit of the quarterback, his pursuit in the run game. Jadeveon Clowney, this is a big deal. I'm praying that Jadeveon Clowney plays. I think he was a little bit banged up last week. He played through it. So he's a veteran. He's a veteran. I think he can play through it. The Cowboys will probably watch his snap count. So this is the big one for me. If Clowney is playing, I'm good. Nothing else. I'm just keeping it real. Man, Clowney has been incredible on this team. Clowney's been incredible. We gotta have Clowney. Yeah, Elbert says the Cowboys better watch out for Gibbs. They better watch out for both of them. Because I'm telling you now, Elbert, the Detroit Lions, they're going to feature those running backs. They're going to be in the run game and they're going to be in the passing game. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be shocked. They're going to try to hit the Cowboys on those edges. They're going to try to get sweeps. They're going to try to get screens because that's how you stop a team that rushes the way the Cowboys do up the middle. I think they'll test that middle out, and then they'll quickly go to start trying to get on the edges of the Cowboys' defense. Mose Logan said Clowney is playing. Yeah, KH. Yeah, JC is a must. Lock and D said he was limited today, so he might play tomorrow. They're going to see how he is. I think he's going to be all the way up to a game time decision. He'll be all the way up. He'll be all the way up to a game time decision. Bad said, I hope the Cowboys are humble enough to remembering the Cardinals game and don't go into Thursday's game thinking because they got injuries, they are scrubs. Better come prepared. They got ballers over there. Bass, let me tell you something. Even though I know, and I should, at least I say I know. At the end of the day, I don't really know. None of us really know, but based on what we're seeing, we say we know. But I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Bass. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I believe at least in the first half, the Cowboys are about to have the Cowboys are about to have the fight of their life. This is going to be the fight of their life. This is a make or break game for the Detroit Lions. This is a make or break game. The Lions are backed into a corner, guys. This is a make or break game. They have got to win this game. And I'm sure Brian Schottenheimer is, at least I hope that he is, Bass. Brian has got to have this team prepared on a level. I'm just telling y'all what this game is. This is bona fide playoffs. This is a bona fide playoff game. Because the Detroit Lions are also playing for the playoffs. The Detroit Lions lose this game, I'm telling you, Detroit's done. The Cowboys, if they beat the Lions, I'm telling you, they're knocking them right out of contention. Not only are they knocking them out of contention, I'm telling y'all now, we are watching the beginning of the end of Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell looked like coach of the year over the last couple of years, and he had Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, all those weapons just on, they're at full throttle. They looked unstoppable last year, stomped the Cowboys 47-9, putting up 40 and 50 points on teams last year. They looked like they were waltzing to the Super Bowl. They got decimated with injuries on defense. Jared Goff sold them in a playoff game with multiple turnovers. Ben Johnson sold them even worse after watching Jared Goff struggling in the game. Ben Johnson is still calling crazy plays that he definitely should not be calling with a run game like he had, and with the defense being as injured as it was. Dan Campbell, I'm telling you, when coaches take over play calling, you better watch out. When coaches take over play calling, something is going wrong. Now, if the offensive coordinator leaves, that's another thing. But when you just take it from the guy on the team, something wrong. This will make or break game. The Cowboys are going to get everything they can handle from the Detroit Lions, I believe, in the first half. But where the Cowboys can break their will is the Cowboys get up on them. Don't let them stay in this game. Because Dan Campbell is, I'm telling you, he has been holding some things for the Cowboys. Dan Campbell is holding, I guarantee you, I will not be surprised if Dan Campbell brings some plays out on the Cowboys he ain't done all year. This game means something. I'm telling you, it means something to it means something to Campbell. It means something to him. Cowboys are in for a dogfight, guys. But I love it. This is what gets you playoff ready. If you're not ready for a team like the Detroit Lions, you're not ready for the playoffs this year. I love this game because the Cowboys are going to have to bring it. I'm telling y'all, they're going to have to bring it to win this game. I love it. I love this type of game for the Cowboys. It is going to be a great test for the Cowboys.
Yeah! Here we go!
All right. We're going to move over here to Brian Schottenheimer. We read some comments. Elbert said, quick passes on the receivers' backs, break off big plays. Yeah. I think this is what Campbell's going to try to do. He's going to try to put those running backs in that passing game. Mark Vasquez, you're exactly right again. We got to get pressure on Goff. He's slow, won't be able to go anywhere but on his back. Mark Vasquez, I've already said it. This dude, Jared Goff, is the backup to the Statue of Liberty. I don't think you can get any more immobile than Jared Goff. I mean, when you get a pass rush on him, hey, he's either going to throw interceptions or he's going to get sacked. This dude is molasses. Keith said Clowney needs to suck it up and play. Yes, sir, Keith, I understand, boy. Keith Tauber said Clowney needs to suck it up and play. He'll get 10 days off after this game to rest. Yeah, I think Clowney know what this is. Elbert said you're totally correct. Hey, I think he knows what this is. Yeah, category 5. Lions O-line is whooped. Our D-line is going to eat. I said it too. Category. I'll be shocked if the Cowboys don't get 6 sacks. I'll be shocked. Lock and D said this is when the edges need to come to play. Yeah, man. I'm just telling y'all the Cowboys are in for the fight of their life, at least in the first half. But the Cowboys can break the Detroit Lions' will if they'll get up on them. Just break their will. The Detroit Lions don't have a good enough defense to stop the Cowboys. They don't. It is the real estate vet. What's going on? KH. Dan Campbell is going to come out the woodworks with these crazy plays. You watch what I tell you. Man, this dude's going to run a double reverse to the water boy. I mean, he's going to do something crazy to try to catch the Cowboys off guard. Ron Hanna said, what up, Jay? Chat can't wait for us to put belt to butt tomorrow. Yeah. Elvin, I am waiting on a big game from Overshown. I'm waiting on a big game from Overshown. Now, he's been back a couple of games now. I'm waiting on a big game. I'm waiting on him to do something big now. I'm waiting on some kind of interception, strip, fumble, run it to the crib. I'm waiting on something big from Overshown. He's due. Yeah, it's about time, hey, Albert. It's due. It's due for him. Gibbs and Montgomery are the 1-2 punch. Brandy, they are. Cowboys going to have to be ready. Bass, I like what you said here. He said, I'd put Perrion or Solomon at defensive end. Yeah, I like that. Solomon Thomas can definitely move out there. I think Winfrey probably could too. Hey, let me tell you something. Lock and D. Flus is going to, tomorrow, Matt Eberflus gets an opportunity to plant his flag in Dallas. Matt Eberflus called a great game. Brady said, I'm calling, G. Why you reject my call? Oh, you probably calling the other line I used to have. But that line doesn't, that line isn't connected to anything, Brandy. Sorry about that. It's not connected to nothing. It really isn't. Albert, he said, you got on another fire hoodie. Hey, man, I'm telling you about Fashion Nova, Albert. I'm telling you, man, Fashion Nova got that NFL wear, man. Yeah. Yeah, Roland said the fighting Dan Campbell's coming at you. Hey, I'm telling you, Dan Campbell is in desperation mode, guys. Dan Campbell is in desperation mode. This is not the Dan Campbell we've seen over the last 2 years. Cocky, brash, arrogant. I mean, he's still arrogant. I'm sorry, he's still cocky. The issue is he just isn't as good as he was. You don't take the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator from a team like the Detroit Lions. That is tough. Man, that's tough. Ben Johnson, man, we're going to be talking about this dude in another year or two. I think Ben Johnson is going to win the Coach of the Year, depending upon how he finishes these next games. But this dude is 9-3, and he has turned the Bears. Man, you're talking about a 180. His picture is in the book. This dude has done some incredible things with the Chicago Bears. And when you take a coach like that from the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff needs a top-notch play caller. Jared Goff needs a top-notch play caller, guys. Because Jared Goff is so limited. He needs somebody that knows how to take advantage not only of the things he does well, but what Ben Johnson was able to do that Dan Campbell hasn't been able to do is Dan Campbell has not done a good job. Neither has the other offensive coordinator. They haven't done a good job of covering up his deficiencies. That's the issue. That's the issue. And the Cowboys are going to illuminate his deficiencies because once you take that run game away from Jared Goff, ooh, this is going to be bad. It's going to be bad once Cowboys take the run game away from him. It's going to be bad. I'm telling you, it's going to be bad. All right, let's check out this thing with Brian Schottenheimer over here on 105.3 The Fan.
It is now time for the Brian Schottenheimer Show, brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Here on Sean and RJ, along with our Cowboys insider, Bobby Belt. Cowboys Lions tomorrow night.
What up,
on
Lost in
this
Translation?
Station. Bobby flying out with the team after the show. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey guys, how we doing? It's not as much fun to talk to you guys on a Wednesday. I dig the Friday show.
Why?
It's just, I don't know. I think you guys are better on Friday. I think you guys kind of stink on Wednesday.
Hey, we just put you in our power rankings as a top 5 team in the national. Top four team in the NFL. RJ and I did, but Bobby didn't, just so you know.
Shocker. Hey, Bobby, you just lost your seat on the plane, buddy.
No, Shotty, I'm trying to make sure that guys don't feel themselves too much. You know how I actually feel about the team.
I like that. That's fair. That's fair.
Now, you said at the end of the game.
Hang on, Coach, were you responsible, by the way, we know you love to golf, but were you responsible for anything on the Thanksgiving table? Can Brian Schottenheimer cook it all?
The answer to that is absolutely not. My wife is an amazing cook. She'll kill me for saying that she doesn't cook a lot. I don't know why. We end up door dashing and things like that, but she's an incredible cook, and we did have a very nice meal that she prepared, and I love her for that.
Nice answer.
So, Shotty, you at the end of the game, we saw the locker room speech, and you had had the quote. You said the heartbeat of this team is different. What do you feel like you've learned or maybe reinforced about the character of your football team the last 3 weeks?
Well, I think it goes back, guys, and again, it goes back to the tragedy of losing Marshawn. And again, I've talked a lot about this, but I mean, it's amazing how it happened, and we were all spread out all over the country, and it wasn't until we came back together the following Monday. It happened on a Wednesday, and that we got a chance to be back together. And I immediately just felt, the true love for one another. That's one of the things we talk about is our teams can be driven by our competitive spirit and love for one another. But like this tragedy has really united this group in a different way. And I think something that is way bigger than the 2025 season. I think it's something that's going to have to be, looked at, over the course of our lives. And, the physicality and violence that we're playing with right now and the passion that we're playing with right now is just so enjoyable for me as a coach to watch. And when you turn on our film, that's who we want to be. And so I'm just really proud of these guys with how hard they've worked.
Coach, the Lions are struggling more than last year. What are you seeing from them that is different overall as a team compared to 15-2 last season?
Yeah, I'm not falling for the bait there, brother. I've seen Jahmyr Gibbs, and I've seen him go 70 yards in like a millisecond, and I've seen Hutchinson rip around edges. And again, don't get caught up in the records, man. This is a really good football team. But I will say this: like when you watch these guys on offense, it's the team speed. I mean, the speed of Gibbs and Jameson Williams, and the accuracy and just the poise of Jared Goff, the offensive line. They're beat up a little bit right now, but man, Penei Sewell, what an elite player he is, and they're missing a few pieces. And then on defense, it's been really fun to see Kelvin Shepard put his identity on this thing. They're playing a ton of base defense. I love the linebackers, Campbell, Anzalone. I think those guys are great. McNeil, one of their interior D tackles, he really wrecked the game for us last year. So. Again, I don't get caught up in records. You know that. We're better than a 6-5-1 football team, and I think they're better than a 7-5 football team. It's just where we stand right now, and that's real. But again, I don't look at that stuff like maybe some people do.
Can you tell a difference though in how Dan calls the plays versus a Ben Johnson run offense?
Yes.
No, I mean, there's still a commitment to run the football.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
passing
can.
game. I think both guys are creative. Not really. Again, I do think that they've been beat up a little bit. Again, been a little bit of a they got the rookie.
What up, Incredulous?
And we'll see what happens with Amon St. Brown. And again,
Hoodie Kush, what's going on?
I mean, I think they're really good, and it's funny because, and I get it. I understand the business, but
now. Let me tell y'all something about what Brian Schottenheimer is doing. I'm sure most of you understand what he's doing. It is blatantly apparent that the Detroit Lions play calling is different. It is different than Ben Johnson because Dan Campbell is nowhere close to Ben Johnson in play calling. He's nowhere close. He is nowhere close to a Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson different. If Ben Johnson had the offense, if he had the weapons, and Ben ain't even got all the weapons yet, man, if Ben had these weapons like the doggone Detroit Lions, which the Bears are getting there. There's no doubt about it. They're getting there. Well, we're already seeing what he did with the Bears. They're 9-3. I understand what he's doing, though. He doesn't want to say anything bad about, of course he don't want to say, the play calling is not as good. Yeah, that'd be that bulletin board material type stuff, and he's not going to try to do that. But no, they're different. They're different. And again, once you stop the run game for the Detroit Lions, it's going to be a long day. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Doomsday. I think this is the problem for the Detroit Lions. I don't think their middle of the pack defense is good enough to stop the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are not the same defense that we saw at the beginning of the season. And this defense over the last 3 games, that defense is about to give the Detroit Lions some problem. Hey, Category 5, what up? He said Diggs to safety. Appreciate that super chat. Man, you know what? Only way I say Diggs could play safety is you basically would have to just say he's not going to be a hitting safety, but he's going to be a pass coverage safety. Because, man, to play safety, boy, man, you got to hit. I don't think that Diggs, while I think he, it's not that he can't tackle, but I don't think he's built for the kind of tackling you got to do at the safety position. The tackling and the pursuit that is required. Ooh, I don't think Diggs is ready for that. I mean, man, you play safety, especially you want a physical safety? No, I don't think he could do that. Tatiana, Diggs is out. Yep, Diggs is out. So obviously the issue is they looked at him and said it's the bottom line. They looked at him and said he wasn't ready to go. He's been on the practice field. They've been watching him. I guess they've been watching, observing, and probably still checking, and they're saying he's not ready, whatever that means. So now that means if he comes back, it'll only be 4 games, but there'll be a 10-day break. He'll get to play against the lowly Minnesota Vikings. Ron Hanna said, facts, G. Campbell is desperate and can't afford to lose this game, so we must watch. So we must match their intensity from the jump. Oh, yeah. I'm telling this, Ron Hanna. Dan Campbell is coming out. I don't know if you've ever seen a fight with somebody. People think there's rules in fights and start talking about put up your dukes, and then you're fighting somebody, and then they fall on the ground and pick up a handful of dirt and throw it in somebody's face. That's Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell don't mind throwing dirt in your face. And then running behind you and hitting you in the back of the head. I mean, Dan Campbell is by any means necessary. Cowboys are about to have the game of their life. This is a playoff game. They got to fight. And they're going to have to fight, and they're going to have to stop this. They're going to have to show Dan Campbell like he did to them last year. Dan Campbell, they stomped the Cowboys early. The Cowboys were out of the game by the first half. Cowboys got to do the same thing. Incredulous. Appreciate these stats. Incredulous said we had 28 pressures against Mahomes. You think golf will be? Incredulous, I already said it. I don't think he have a chance. He said, you think golf will be able to wiggle around in the pocket of the vortex like Mahomes? Let me tell you something. Patrick Mahomes is Houdini. He's a magician. Ain't nobody close. And Jared Goff, even in his dreams, can't scramble like. Incredulous. Man, I already said it. I don't think he got a chance, man. I don't think Jared Goff got a chance, just being honest with you. Only way he has a chance, they run the ball and he gets play action going. But once the Cowboys take that run game away, because if I'm Matt Eberflus, I'm throwing everything I can at that run game. I'm going 5-man front. I don't care if I got to go man-to-man. I'm daring. I'll double Williams and go 5-man front, and I'll dare him to beat me. I'll dare them to beat me. I'll blitz. Man, I'll blitz Jared Goff out of his mind. Bro, I'm going to go down swinging for the fences on Jared Goff. Because he's shown. This dude I'm telling y'all, he's the backup to the Statue of Liberty.
I think they scored 40 points, and then Dan, took over the play calling duties, which, again, he did it for a reason.
It was the Washington Commanders, Brian. I understand. Hey, I ain't dissing Brian. I just know what Brian is doing. Dan Campbell is not the play caller Ben Johnson is. Dan Campbell is not the play caller Ben Johnson is.
I think the next week they put up 40 points again and 500 yards or rush for 250 yards or something like that. But
I agree, Steve Gibson.
Again, I think that more than anything,
Gotta get up on
the identity of their football
my
team.
My sister Edge of the Rubber Chicks.
After Dan's
what up?
personality.
Brian Schottenheimer joining us here, 105.3. The Fan, part of that identity is going for it on fourth down. He does that a lot. When you're playing a team where they're going for it on fourth, like basically all the time, do you get caught up in wanting to match that or try to play against that? How does that kind of weigh into your decisions on fourth down, if at all?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing you say.
I hope that Brian Schottenheimer doesn't be dumb, Elbert. I hope he doesn't be dumb as Dan Campbell is. Dan Campbell has sold his team out on some of these fourth down calls. Dan Campbell, I believe, wouldn't have lost 3 of the last 5 games had it not been for some of these fourth down things. I mean, he basically gave the game to the Green Bay Packers. You're going to go for it 5 times on fourth down, bro. You deserve to lose. You deserve to lose. He's going to call fourth downs on the Cowboys, too, and the Cowboys got to be ready. And not only do they have to be ready, Elbert, they need to capitalize on those fourth downs. Turn them into scores. Because if you turn them into scores, the game is over. Game is over. Jose said, I knew that once Ben Johnson left, that offense was not going to be the same. Facts. Ron Hanna, Caleb Williams is he's the weak link. Now, he'll be better next year, but he's the weak link. Man, let me tell y'all something. Ben Johnson with a Dak Prescott, man, this league wouldn't have a chance. This league wouldn't have a chance with Ben Johnson with a Dak Prescott type quarterback. Man, Ben Johnson is we're going to be talking about this dude in another 2 years. This dude he's not only a great play caller, boy, I got to give it to him. He's a heck of a motivator. he's going to win Coach of the Year. The only way he doesn't win it is that he goes down the stretch and they start to collapse a little bit, and then it'll go to Brian Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer's going to challenge him. I believe Schottenheimer is going to challenge him for the Coach of the Year. But right now, Ben Johnson is probably in the front. And I know what Shotty doing, man. Shoot, come on, bro. I know you giving Dad some respect, man. That man ain't close. that play calling is different, bro.
Is okay on the defensive side of the ball. What we do is we carry a few more third down calls, right? Because you realize that, really, if you're a team that does what they do quite a bit, which is go for it on fourth down, third down is really more like second down. You basically are awarded 2 second downs.
And also, too, when I say to Diggs, as far as the tackling goes, don't take this as a knock on Diggs. There are a lot of cornerbacks that could not convert to safety. There's a reason why they're playing cornerback, because they're not safety material. Man, you got to be a different type of dude to switch from cornerback to safety. Because you got to be that type of guy that was you were already a physical cornerback. Man, everybody ain't built for that. Everybody's not built for that. And then if you are going to let that quote-unquote non-hitting cornerback go to safety, you're really sticking him back there to help you in the passing game. So you're not worried about him tackling. But the way the Cowboys use their safeties, it seems in particular, you got to really be active as a safety in this defense. You're going to have to do a lot of hitting and things of that nature. So that wouldn't be Trevon Diggs. That wouldn't be Trevon Diggs' thing. I don't think that would be his thing. And again, that's not a knock on him. There are a lot of cornerbacks that couldn't go to safety, especially on certain teams, because of the way certain teams called their scheme for the safeties. They'd have to be very physical. Now, if he could go somewhere and they're saying you don't have to be physical as a safety and we got you just back here for the passing, well, I'm pretty sure he could play center field really well. Again, Diggs has ball skills. The only problem with Diggs has been his legs. That's been his problem. Doomsday says, I disagree with that the Detroit Lions are going to have to match our intensity. The Cowboys are not the same on the front lines. They are more physical and will force you to match their physical. Oh, Doomsday. I'm not necessarily worried about the Cowboys from the defensive standpoint, but I'm talking all around. Dan Campbell is going to have that defense fired up. He going to have them boys swarming. And I think he's going to take a lot of chances. I think Dan Campbell is going to take some chances. You watch what I tell you. I'm not going to be surprised. The Detroit Lions are in desperation mode right now. I won't be surprised they do some of the things I'm talking about. I won't be surprised if they throw the kitchen sink at Dak Prescott and say, we're going to take the chance on a one-on-one on certain plays. We're going to go man-to-man on certain plays, and we don't care. We're going to live with the results. But what we're not going to do is let Dak Prescott just drop back and throw to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens all day long. I'm telling you, these dudes are in desperation mode. They are in desperation mode, and I'm telling you, these guys going to take some chances. Angie, they said that they're going to check on him tomorrow. They're going to check on Jadeveon Clowney tomorrow and see if he plays. But we know for sure Diggs is out. Diggs will be back if Diggs comes back, Diggs will be back against the Minnesota Vikings, which I think is really the smarter thing. Bring him back against the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm telling y'all, man, if Diggs can come back as even, because he's not going to be Diggs. Not the one that everybody's thinking about, the 2022 Diggs. Diggs ain't going to be that. But if he can be 80% of that, if Diggs can be 80% of that, Cowboys can move Bland to the slot, Savon Revel Jr. on the outside, poor Cowboys could have a heck, they could have a heck of a secondary going down the stretch. They really could. They could have a heck of a secondary. That's all predicated on what does Diggs look like. Now, my issue is I would like to know what made them determine it, that Diggs wasn't ready. I'd like to know what determined that. But nevertheless, either way, I still say it's a good decision. I would rather Diggs come back against the Minnesota Vikings. I really would. And then work his way up from that Minnesota Vikings game, because that Chargers game is going to be very important. kind of let him shake some of the rust off with the Minnesota Vikings. Keep Trevon Diggs, like I said yesterday, keep him at 25 to 30 snaps, because when he had those 27 snaps against the Eagles in that first game, he was great. When the Cowboys, they just in one game, they ramped him up to 60-plus snaps, and then he said he started having swelling in his knees. So the Cowboys need to keep him at around 25 to 30 snaps. Don't play him in 4-3 base. Play him in man situations. Play him in blitzing situations, and let his ball skills work for you. Let his ball skills work for you. So Cowboys could have something with Diggs in a part of a rotation going down the stretch. They could have something. So again, he's out this game. No big deal. He'll be ready for the next game. He'll get another 10 days to rest and kind of get that situation together, whatever it is. But it sounds like to me, now some people are saying they don't think he's going to play again this season. But it sounds like to me, the Joneses want him playing. Sounds like they want him playing. And if they want him playing, we will see Diggs again. Not this game, but we'll see Diggs again. And if he's 80% Diggs and they, like I said, him, Bland, and Savon Revel Jr., boy, man, that could be nice. Or just that rotation piece on certain situations. That piece could be nice for the Cowboys.
So you got to carry a few more calls that you like, because you're going to more than likely have, somewhere from 3 to 6, fourth down attempts that they're going to go for it. And then on our side, no, I'm not. I don't get caught up in, hey, these guys go for it a lot, so we're going to show them that, hey, we're more aggressive than them. I think you look at each situation differently and uniquely, and based on the time of the game and the situation and how we're playing, that all factors into the decision you will make.
Have you felt since the trade deadline in the
Angie said, I heard anything on Butler. Only from what he put on his Twitter, Angie. Butler said he been ready. Butler said he been ready since game 6. He said he been ready since game 6. He said it's all on the Cowboys. And Angie, this is why I'm wondering, what are the Cowboys using to determine that Trevon Diggs ain't ready? Because Trevon Diggs said, in the thing that I misread, he said, I feel good. He said, I'm ready to go. I feel I'm ready to go. So I just wonder kind of what made them keep him out this week, because it's the same thing I'm wondering what's making them keep Josh Butler out. What's making them keep Jonathan Mingo? I mean, I thought we'd see Mingo by now. Man, Mingo is the type of wide receiver you want to see during this time of the year. But again, Brian said Mingo can't get on the field because Ryan Flanoy's been playing so well. Cowboys, I don't know. I guess they got good problems. They got players that can play, and then they got players that are playing well. So I guess they got some depth. We'll see what happens. But it sounds like to me, guys, Jerry wants to see Diggs, and I think we're going to see Diggs. Other people are saying they don't believe it. I might need to put something on that about Diggs coming back and playing.
That you with improved defense, you felt less pressure to score on every drive?
Again,
Heck no.
I will say this, man. I think our defense has really they're playing really well right now, and I think why. People have asked me that question. Well, what's the difference? And everyone wants to point to Quinnen or Logan or this and that. And it's defense, man, is all about the 11 guys, and we're communicating better right now. We're playing with better eyes. And
you're also playing with somebody named Quinnen Williams. Come on, man. Hey, this dude said everything right. Quinnen, Logan, Overshow coming back and Revel, but Quinnen has been incredible.
I do think that we are definitely controlling the line of scrimmage. I think that's great. I love how competitive we're playing on the edges right now. With Vaughn, Revel and Deron Bland, and I just think that it's. And then there's a confidence, guys. I mean, it's real. I mean, you win a game in Vegas, and then you come back and you spot a division opponent, that's leading the division. You spot them 21 points. You just keep playing, and then you turn around a couple days later, and you're a little bit sleep deprived and tired, and you go play, one of best teams over the last 10 years in the league.
Kalen Carson is dealing with both hamstrings, Ron Hanna.
That's where we're playing with a lot of confidence right now. We don't, and same thing. I mean, we didn't start the Kansas City game off very good. Interception, third play of the game, and then I think it took them 3 plays to go score. But what I love about this group is, again, the way that they just keep playing and the way they just keep going. They don't get caught up in the scoreboard, and I love that, because that's what I think that winning requires in the National Football League.
Brian Schottenheimer right here on 105.3 The Fan. You mentioned Logan. I think he's kind of gotten lost in some of our discussions with all the other defensive storylines as of late. Has he brought what you anticipated? What has Logan Wilson brought? Has he met your expectations so far?
Yeah, he's been great. And, honestly, I'll say this in a very positive way towards Logan. But, he's pushed Kenneth Murray. Kenneth is playing really well right now. But what I love about Logan, man, is, again, he dissects. He sees things really, really well. Here's a guy that, came in here, and he's, former captain in Cincinnati, and he just wants to fit in and play and help us win. And but yes, the answer to the question is absolutely, both on and off the field. Logan has been great, just like Quinnen. And again, we're so blessed to have both those guys.
Shotty, during this 3-game winning streak, your opponents have scored on 86% of their first quarter drives, but then that number plummets to 21% from the second quarter on. What have you guys been able to do differently, or how have you guys managed to settle in after those first quarters and really stayed headstrong and responded the right way on defense?
Yeah, again, I think it starts with the adjustments that Flus and the staff have been able to make.
Yeah, I was about to say, good on the fly adjustments.
A plan of a game and say, okay, hey, we're going to do X, Y, Z. The other thing that is very true is every offensive coach in the league. I'd be shocked if anybody does.
Hey, Keith Tauber. You know what? It's funny to me, too, that Chanel said the same thing. Chanel said Murray still isn't playing good. Chanel said, looking at him on tape, he's still not playing well. But I can tell you this, the Cowboys signed him to a 2-year, $15 million deal, and I'm pretty sure $7.5 million of that is guaranteed. So, man, Cowboy... Man, this is one of the things, I hope it's not true, but this is one of those things that aggravates me about us sometimes. We pay them, we play them. We pay them, and we say even if they're not playing well, we got to pay. We got to play them. And I just wonder if this is the case with Murray, because from everything I'm hearing, Keith Tauber, Murray ain't playing good still. Keith Tauber... Keith Tauber, he said Murray playing well. He got the laughing emojis up. Man, no, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the Murray thing myself, but it is what it is. They paid him. They played it. They're going to play him. And that's all I can say about it. Mose Logan said the Eagles thought Big Play Slay was coming back, but he signed with the Bills, and the Eagles have to see the Bills. Man, you know what? I was wondering if the Cowboys would have looked at Big Play Slay. Just as a depth piece. What's going on? True Texan is up in here. He said Logan left because he does not like sitting the bench. That part too. And Keith Tauber said he ain't playing better. Bass said he fleeced the Cowboys. Murray is still at $17 million. Yeah, he a thief. He won't get the rest of that money. I think the Cowboys going to cut him after this year. Yeah, they're going to cut Murray after this year. I guarantee that $15 million wasn't guaranteed. He'll be cut after this season. But as far as it goes now, Cowboys are going to continue to let him play. I think that's kind of where we are. Yeah, I'm with you, Angie. I would prefer Logan. I'd prefer Logan over Murray. Murray just looks like he doesn't know where he is sometimes. Brandy, I thought we said we wasn't going to call Murray K9 no more. I thought we said we wasn't calling Curry. We're calling Murray K9 no more, because Murray, in order to be called K9, man, you're supposed to be a dog. Oh man, I don't know if I can deal with calling this man K9. he definitely hasn't been a K9 this year. Craig Parker said the statue's head will be spinning because Quinnen will be winning. Yes, sir. Man, shoot. I told y'all Jerry Goff is the Statue of Liberty backup. Yeah, Edge, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's Kenneth. K9 is for when you're nasty. He was not nasty this year.
They've all got openers, so you kind of got to weather the storm a little bit in the openers, and they're going to test you. And part of building an opening script, guys, is to figure out, okay, well, how are they going to handle this personnel grouping, 11, 12, 22, whatever? How are they going to handle these formations? So the biggest thing I would just say is that the adjustments have been really good, but our guys play hard. They play physical for 60 minutes, knowing that it's going to be a 60-minute game and knowing that it's going to come down to the fourth quarter.
Coach, do way more adjustments take place within the quarters than at halftime?
Yeah, I mean, the halftime, other than when Post Malone's playing, again, I guess that's a little longer halftime. Yeah, usually you make a lot more adjustments as the game's going because halftime's really quick. And really, you guys would be shocked. I mean, guys come in and guys have to go in and they got to get things fixed and treated and retaped. And there's a couple quick things made, adjustments by position groups. But it does go fast.
Yeah,
it is
Murray,
an ongoing
man.
thing. And there's more adjustments definitely made during the course of a game than probably even at halftime.
Brian Schottenheimer joining us here on 105 through the Fan. Shotty, you've talked about your love for Trevon Diggs, your belief in him as a player. What are your expectations for him moving forward as he kind of gears up to come back?
Yeah, just continue to do what he's been doing. I mean, at the end of the day, he's an unbelievable talent, and this is something that we're excited about. Trying to get him back, and we'll kind of see how that plays out. And it's been a good start, but again, he is only 1 week back into it, so we'll see. But just doing everything right, and we're playing really good defense right now. And you get a chance to add another tremendous player like Trevon. I think that's nothing but a big boost for you. And again, I just like I said, I can't sing praises for him enough. And again, he's doing everything he can to get back to where he's feeling and playing great.
Has he had a little bit more challenging time maybe adjusting to your style and way of doing things versus previous regimes?
I don't know. I mean, that's a fair question for Trevon. I mean, I'm not going to ask it. I think, Trevon and I have a really good relationship. Like I said, some people don't like people that have real, authentic, hard conversations. I love Trevon, and I think there's definitely a mutual respect there. And, the thing that I would say is it's a little bit like, my wife and I or my kids and I, there's sometimes that they say things to me and I'm like, whoa, okay, I didn't really appreciate your delivery there or what you said. And I think that happens at times in this business, and it's all about being a family and having a love and a respect for one another. But I would hope so.
Shotty, Jadeveon Clowney, he's been DNP.
I like to hear that. I love the fact that Brian Schottenheimer has a lot of respect for Trevon Diggs. And I think he's got a lot of respect for what Trevon Diggs has accomplished in this league, what he was before the injuries. Because, again, I've said this about the injuries. The injuries were not Diggs' fault. You just can't stop yourself from getting injured. It just happens. I mean, Overshown has been injured twice. You can't stop yourself from getting injured. It is what it is. And so this has really been the thing that has hurt Trevon Diggs. The injuries. The injuries have robbed Trevon Diggs of some great years. Because we know what Diggs was. He never was a burner. But he had instinct. He had ball skills, instinct, took chances. Like cornerbacks do. Sometimes you lose, but he won some. He won a lot of them. Got some great picks, great pass breakups. We saw him lock down some great receivers. The thing that has hurt Trevon Diggs has been the injuries. And so I saw where Mose Logan said that Trevon Diggs, Mike Fisher said he looked good in practice. But obviously, I guess we don't know the whole story. Maybe he got done with the practice, came off the field, didn't feel right, or whatever the case may be. I just wonder what's determining that he's not playing this week. But nevertheless, again, I still say Brian said he's 1 week of getting back into it. So maybe they're saying we don't want him getting 1 week back into it, and then we thrust him into a game like the Detroit Lions. Nope, let's let him sit another 10 days, let him keep getting that knee together, and we get some more work in. And then by the Minnesota Vikings game, he makes his debut. He helps us the last 4 games. I mean, those games are going to be important too. We got to win all those games. We have to win all those games. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just going off face value. Sounds like the Joneses want Diggs to play. And Bobby Belt just said that Brian Schottenheimer has an affinity for one Trevon Diggs. So, it's really a good wager. I mean, will he play again or not? I didn't think he was going to play again. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to play again. So all the Trevon Diggs stuff coming back and playing, it's a shockadelica to me. I mean, it's a shockadelica. So again, but I see a whole lot of different angles on this. But in the grand scheme of things, if Diggs can come back, I'm going to say it again. If he can come back and be 75% of what he used to be, 75%, him on the outside, Revel on the outside, Bland on the inside, man, that's a pretty good defensive back setup in certain situations, especially if you're going to blitz. So you want to go man to man, and that quarterback got to get the ball out of his hand, and maybe he tests Diggs out, and Diggs, hey, we'll see. But it sounds like in the grand scheme of things, the Cowboys want Trevon Diggs out there. And so for me, I'm not mad. As long as he can play, man, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. If Diggs can help the Cowboys win, I want Diggs to help the Cowboys win and whoever else they decide to let play too. All right. But I love that. I love the fact that Brian has a lot of respect for him. But, it's kind of funny. Brian is kind of giving us some insight on Trevon Diggs, too. It's pretty obvious that Trevon Diggs don't mind speaking his mind. It's pretty obvious that Trevon Diggs don't mind speaking his mind. But Brian seems like, hey, I can appreciate that about him, too.
The first couple days, what's his outlook for the game and just the impact that he's made for you guys on defense and the way he's played?
Yeah, I agree with you, Elbert. I don't think they needed Diggs for this game.
Really, he's just this guy. I mean, what can you say about this guy? And it's not just the way he plays on the field, because he's always been a very talented player, but the absolute strain and finish and the way he's running to the ball is just different, man. And I also love the way he's impacting our young players like Donovan Ezaraku and Jay Toa and guys like that. I mean, just the knowledge he's impacting on those guys, I think, is great. And we're going to take it up to game time and see. As a veteran, he's earned the right to do that, and we'll get him out there early before the game and see how he does. But hopefully he can play, and if not, next man up type of deal. But playing great football right now.
Last one, Coach. 47-9 last year. We asked Jerry about this yesterday. They messed up his birthday. I think we had to suffer the wrath of that.
Yeah, we did.
In our follow-up radio interview. But we asked Jerry, when is the last time? I know you're not going to answer whether you have revenge on your mind for tomorrow night. When's the last time you were coaching or where that factored in, where you're like, okay, if we get a chance here, you can take it back to any level you want. If you're willing to answer, you're like, okay, if I get a chance here, I'm going to stick it to him.
Yeah, it usually doesn't work out well for me. The last time I remember feeling that way is when I left the Jets and I went to St. Louis, and we that was the plan going into the game, and I think the game ended up turning out the other way. I think it was a beat down by the Jets against the Rams, like 40-10. But I was like, going into the game, man, we're gonna show these guys, man, I should still be there, whatever. And then sure enough, I looked up at the scoreboard. I was like, man, maybe they made the right decision. It couldn't get much worse than this. So I don't really look at things that way, man. And that's why I'm every week's its own championship opportunity. But it's going to be a hell of a game. And again, we're looking forward to playing it.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time. Best of luck tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you.
Yeah, hey, guys, it's going to be a great game tomorrow. Can't wait to do the pregame tomorrow, man. Good to see. Look like all of y'all are excited about this game, man. Boy, I'm just excited, man. I just love this type of game. The Cowboys have rose to the occasion on 3 games that people thought that they were going to lose 2 of the 3. They've won all 3, and now the Cowboys are coming up against the Lions. I believe Brian Schottenheimer is going to have this team ready. I think he's going to match energy. I think he's going to match energy, and I think Cowboys going to be ready to go. Angie said, I'll be glad when Diggs actually plays to show evidence or leave whatever results will be, because I'm so tired of this topic. It's like being a dead horse at this point. Angie, I 1,000% agree with you. But it looks like he's going to get back on the field. It looks like he's going to get back on the field. But Angie, this is what I talked about the other day. I don't like the fact that Jerry broke this. Jerry broke this. Brian didn't break this. Jerry broke this. So it would have been better to just, when D's ready, put him on the field than to start telling people he's going to be on the field, then he's not on the field. That don't make sense to me. I wish Jerry would have never brought that up. But nevertheless, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. One thing I'm not going to be as negative as it applies to the Dallas Cowboys. If Trevon Diggs can help the Dallas Cowboys, Trevon Diggs is going to help the Dallas Cowboys. And I want all the success, because the one thing that I don't want to see is him not have success. I want Trevon Diggs to have all the success in the world. And I hope that when he hits that doggone field for the Dallas Cowboys, I hope this dude balls out. Yeah, because he's a Cowboy. And we love our Cowboys. And I trust Brian Schottenheimer. I don't agree with Brian Schottenheimer all the time, but I trust him. And if they want to put him on the field, I'm going to trust that he's going to be ready when they put him on the field. But again, Cowboy fans, I'm excited about tomorrow's game. I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. The Cowboys are different, man. They're different. They're playing with a different tenacity. They're just playing so different. They're playing in ways, and I'm telling you what the difference is. Man, the Cowboys got dogs this year. They got a bunch of dogs. They already had dogs in Dak, CD, Cooper BB, Ty Smith, added Tyler Booker, added Quinnen Williams, added George Pickens. Man, Savone, Demarion back. Man, these boys are dogs, man. These boys are dogs. I love it. I'm ready to go out here and beat these Lions. I'm telling you, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do our live. We're going to do our pregame show and our postgame show. It's going to be a great day tomorrow if the Lord is willing. I'll see y'all tomorrow around 4:30. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Love you all. Let's talk Cowboys where we talk facts. Peace.